Yeah, hey class, just a quick checking in on doing this office script this week, and this is true for any of the storyboards we make. I don't recreate the wheel. I mean, for example, this office script reminded me for some reason the Maltese Falcon or some old B movie detective kind of story. So I just Googled it, and Maltese Falcon movie stills, and it took me to the IMDb website. And here you can see they've got some stills here, so you can analyze these. For example, here's a really good example of the kind of shot that you might be putting together for a long shot. But look at the way they've subdivided this negative space. A lot of use of contrast and light sources. And what I had emailed something out about the use of scale and foreground, background. Look at how, even as you look at the focal point and the action going on here, that you're kind of surreptitiously, voyeuristically looking in on, look into the background. You've got people way in the back, so they're really developing depth there through that subdivision. Clever use of shadows you can see in here. I think if you're doing interiors, one thing that you'll see in a lot of these stills is that the way they're framing the shots and composing them is that you look into another room a lot of times, so that it's not just two people standing up against a wall. They're in a room, and that you're sometimes looking into another room. Let me see. I just saw another one like that somewhere around here. Let me just flip through some of these. The use of the gaze is really important. Here we've got a triangular thing going on where the gaze is really important in developing composition, because you tend to follow the direction of somebody's gaze, and it's been used since before Renaissance times actually in painting. So Bogey's looking here, he's looking back at Bogey, then you look down here, he's looking at Bogey. Notice here we have the closed door, which we don't look into the other room, so it's a little bit more of a confined space, right? They want it to be a little bit more contained in there, probably to raise the level of tension. So I mean, to me, I'd go, hey, open door, kind of a more relaxed, open conversation. Closed door, a little bit more tense. Here's something, let me see. Nothing really there. I mean, I would just look through these, see what you find. Here's something. Here is one. Here we've got the open door, almost like a metaphor for escape. The possibility of escape, or definitely, some kind of action coming in, leaving. You've got some very urgent, And I was thinking of the three cops in the stakeout. I mean, this is just classic stuff. But here, they're all in the same kind of plane. And so that, again, it's got depth in the sense that it's a room. You stop pretty short. You do go back into the hall, but then you come back in here to the focal point. So take a look at some of these. I'll look for some more to share with you. I think if it were me trying to come up with ideas for storyboards, let me see if I can find another one. I just typed in Casablanca. Actually, when I was a film colorist, we colorized Casablanca and we broke it down scene by scene. And I remember doing some of these scenes where somebody would walk in front of the piano and then you'd have to recolorize it. Again, note the use of depth. When you're creating your boards, think about openings in the walls, partitions, other people in the background. Let me see if I can find. This looks kind of interesting. Kind of a tilted angle. They go on, the lecture talks about, or some of the links I've been to talk about, the psychological tension that's built up through the tilted angle. Like, for example, when Mary comes into the room and is standing there holding the gun, does it have to be a straight up and down shot? Could it be slightly tilted? Just another example of scale here. The foreground bar going way, 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 way back. The shadows, the hanging lamps. And finally, here's an interesting site. I looked for Godfather movie stills, the moviepicturedb.com. Again, you can look through some of these. Some of these look like, on the set shots, but you can get some ideas of framing, composition, etc.